All right, ready to dive into something a little unexpected. Let's talk men's style, specifically in Kazakhstan.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah. What does it mean to dress sharp on this very day, March 11, 2025? We found this RBK Pro article. Oyemi! Oyemi, that's men's dress code. A guide to style and status.
I've heard of that one, yeah.
It might sound niche, but there's a lot here for everyone, whether you're, trying to nail a business meeting or just want to step up your everyday look.
For sure.
And to help break it all down, we've got style expert Andre Mayfair lending his expertise.
Awesome. I'm excited to hear what he has to say. What struck you about the article?
Well, what's cool is that it goes beyond just, like, fashion trends. It's
Mhm.
really about, using your clothes to project an image, navigate social situations.
That makes sense, especially here in Kazakhstan.
Right. First impressions matter a lot here.
Huge.
And Mayfair starts off strong,
Uh-huh.
emphasizing a principle that I think never goes out of style.
Yeah.
Appropriateness,
Oh, yeah, classic.
basically dressing for the occasion. He even says it's more important than chasing the latest trends.
Interesting.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Is it really that crucial here in Kazakhstan?
Oh, absolutely. Mayfair makes a good point about how, a misstep there can lead to awkwardness, even harm your reputation, especially in business.
Yeah, it's true.
Like, think about it. In Kazakhstan, we have a culture that values respect, tradition.
For sure.
Your clothing's a way of showing you get the social context, that
Mm.
you're taking the situation seriously.
Totally. So let's say you're heading to a formal event here.
Okay.
What are some of those classic guidelines Mayfair lays out?
Well, he emphasizes those timeless, elegant looks. Suits in solid classic colors, navy gray, brown, the staples.
No crazy patterns?
Exactly. A well-fitting shirt's a must, of course. And shoes, classic black, ideally without broguing.
Oh, those little dots.
Yeah, the perforations.
Got it. Okay, so I get the basics. But Mayfair also talks about bespoke tailoring.
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
Is that really a thing people are doing here in Kazakhstan, or is it more niche?
It's definitely gaining traction. It's a way to stand out, signal status.
Which, as we said, is a big deal here.
Right, and think about it. The craftsmanship, the detail that goes into a bespoke garment.
Yeah.
It's a statement. Your position, commitment to quality, your personal style.
Wow, so it's like wearing your success on your sleeve. Literally.
Haha.
In a way.
But Mayfair points out it's a big investment, not just financially, but time, too. He says a single piece can take 1.5 to 3 months to create.
Wow.
Is that typical?
That's the thing with bespoke, right? It's not just a quick purchase off the rack.
Right.
It's a process. Working closely with a tailor, multiple fittings, choosing fabrics, all those little decisions.
So it makes you wonder, when is it actually worth going bespoke?
Yeah.
When are ready-made clothes the better option? I mean, most of us don't have months to wait for a new suit.
You're hitting the nail on the head there. Mayfair outlines 3 key limitations to going bespoke.
Okay, let's hear them. Time, budget, and what we could call taste or experience.
Yeah, makes sense so far.
He tells the story about a man who wanted a full bespoke wardrobe.
Ambitious.
Very. But because of time constraints, he ended up buying expensive ready-made suits instead.
Ah, I see.
It shows how bespoke isn't always practical.
Right.
You got to consider your lifestyle, how much time you're really willing to invest.
That's a great point. It's not just about the money, it's about the time commitment. So how does budget factor into this?
Well, Mayfair gives a great example of a young government worker with limited funds.
Right.
Instead of trying to go fully bespoke, which wasn't feasible, he chose to invest in one high-quality bespoke suit for those special occasions.
Makes sense.
The rest of his wardrobe was well-chosen, ready-made pieces. This strategy really spoke to me.
Yeah, I get that. It's like he gets the impact that one killer bespoke suit can have, but he's realistic about his budget, his needs.
Exactly.
So it's all about prioritizing, making informed choices.
And understanding that style isn't about an unlimited budget, it's about allocating resources well.
I love that. So we've got time, budget. What about this taste or experience limitation?
Well, Mayfair emphasizes that going bespoke requires a certain level of knowledge. You need to understand fit, cut, fabric choices, all these things that create a well-tailored garment.
Right.
And if you lack that knowledge, you could end up making some costly mistakes.
That makes sense. So for someone new to bespoke, where do they even begin?
Mayfair actually suggests working with a stylist,
Oh, interesting.
especially if you're new or not feeling confident in your sartorial knowledge.
A stylist here in Kazakhstan, is that common?
It's becoming more and more so, especially as people realize the power of personal style. A stylist can be super valuable.
I could see that.
They can guide you through fabric choices, ensure everything works together, help you create that cohesive, stylish wardrobe that reflects your personal brand.
And in a place like Kazakhstan where image is so important.
Exactly. It can be invaluable. It's like having a personal style coach, to guide you through the decisions and make sure you're making the right choices for your goals.
Yeah, so it's not just about having someone tell you what to wear. It's about someone who can help you develop your own style.
Exactly. Now, getting back to those budget considerations, Mayfair gives some concrete guidance on when bespoke makes sense based on how much you're spending on suits. If your budget is under 50,000 rubles, he recommends focusing on well-fitting, ready-made options. And then consider maybe getting some tailoring to get that perfect fit.
That's really practical advice. I think a lot of people can relate to that. It's like working within your means and still looking sharp.
Absolutely. And it's about understanding that tailoring can make a huge difference, even with ready-made clothes.
Yeah, so it's not an all or nothing situation.
Right. You can still elevate your style without going full bespoke.
Exactly.
Now, as you move into the 120,000 to 150,000 ruble range for suits, that's where bespoke starts to become a more viable option.
That makes sense. You have more flexibility to explore those custom details and really create something unique.
Right. And if you're already spending upwards of 250,000 rubles on suits, Mayfair suggests that bespoke is likely the best choice for quality, fit, and expressing your personal style.
So at that point, it's about more than just the garment itself, right? It's the craftsmanship, the exclusivity, the whole experience.
Yeah. It's a statement about your appreciation for the finer things and your commitment to investing in yourself.
I can definitely see the appeal. Okay, so we've talked about time, budget, taste, but what about the actual details of going bespoke? What are some things people should keep in mind?
Well, Mayfair emphasizes the importance of understanding fabric choices. This is where your knowledge and your stylist's guidance come in. He actually shares a cautionary tale about a client who got a bit carried away with the freedom of choice.
Oh, I can see where this is going.
Yeah, this client picked a bold patterned fabric thinking it would make a fantastic suit.
Uh-oh. Not every fabric is meant for a suit, is it?
Exactly. During the fittings, the client realized that the fabric, while interesting, wasn't really suitable for a suit. It would have worked better for a jacket, but by then, the fabric and labor were already paid for.
Oof, that's a costly mistake.
Yeah.
It really highlights the value of having a stylist who understands those nuances of different fabrics
Yeah,
and how they translate into garments.
right. A good stylist can steer you towards fabrics that not only look great, but also wear well and are appropriate for the intended purpose.
So it's about finding that balance between aesthetics and practicality.
Exactly. And Mayfair provides some valuable insights into what fabrics are particularly popular here in Kazakhstan. For example, wool is always a classic choice for suits, right?
Sure.
It's durable, breathable, can be tailored to create a sharp, elegant look. But we also see a lot of interest in fabrics that reflect our local heritage, like camel hair or even silk.
Oh, that's interesting. So there's a way to incorporate those traditional elements into a modern wardrobe.
Absolutely. And it's something that a stylist can really help you navigate.
So let's say I'm convinced. I'm ready to take the plunge into bespoke. How do I even go about finding a stylist who's a good fit for me?
Mayfair gives some excellent advice on this. He says to start by asking for recommendations from friends, colleagues, even tailors you trust. Word of mouth can be very powerful. He also suggests looking at stylists' portfolios online or on social media to get a sense of their aesthetic, see if it aligns with your own.
That makes sense. It's like checking out their work before you commit to anything.
Exactly. And don't be afraid to have a consultation with a few different stylists before making a decision. This will give you a chance to discuss your style goals, your budget, get a feel for their personality and approach.
Yeah, it's like any other relationship. You want to make sure there's a good rapport there.
Absolutely. Communication is key. And remember, a good stylist will listen to your needs, your preferences, and work with you to create a wardrobe that reflects your individual style, rather than trying to impose their own vision on you.
So it's a collaborative process.
Exactly. Now, beyond finding a stylist, Mayfair also talks about the importance of understanding the specific details of a garment's construction. This goes beyond just fabric choice. For example, he talks about the different types of canvas used in suit jackets. Do you know much about canvas?
To be honest, not really. I know it has something to do with the structure of the jacket, but I couldn't tell you the specifics.
Well, canvas is essentially an internal layer of fabric that gives the jacket its shape and helps it drape properly. There are different types of canvas. Fused canvas, which is more common in ready-made suits, is where the canvas is glued to the suit fabric. It's a quicker, less expensive method, but it can sometimes result in a jacket that feels stiff or doesn't drape as well.
Ah, so that's why some jackets feel so boxy.
Exactly. Now, with bespoke tailoring, you'll typically find floating canvas, which is a separate layer of canvas that's stitched to the suit fabric. This allows for more flexibility, movement, and creates a more natural drape. It's a more time-consuming, expensive process, but it results in a jacket that looks and feels much better.
So it's like the difference between a mass-produced item and a handcrafted piece.
Precisely. And it's these subtle details that can really elevate a bespoke garment.
This is fascinating stuff. I feel like I'm learning so much about the intricacies of men's style.
And we've only just scratched the surface. Mayfair also goes into detail about lapel styles, pocket options, buttonhole details. It's amazing how much goes into creating a truly bespoke garment.
It's clear that he's passionate about this, and he wants to share that knowledge with others.
Absolutely. And that's what makes this article so valuable. It's not just a guide to dressing well, it's a deep dive into the art of bespoke tailoring and the philosophy behind it.
Yeah, it sounds like he's really trying to demystify this whole world of bespoke tailoring and make it more accessible to everyone.
He is. And, he even goes beyond just the technical aspects. He talks about bespoke tailoring as like a form of self-expression,
Well, yeah.
It's about creating clothes that truly reflect your personality, your taste, your values. Like, instead of just buying clothes off the rack, you're crafting something unique that tells the world who you are.
That's a powerful idea. It's like your clothing becomes an extension of yourself, not just something you put on.
Exactly. And it's about moving beyond just following trends and embracing a more personal, individualized approach to style. Especially here in Kazakhstan, where we have such a rich cultural heritage.
Yeah.
I think there's a real opportunity to blend those traditional elements with modern trends and create something truly special.
I love that. Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground. The importance of appropriateness, the allure of bespoke tailoring, the factors to consider when deciding between bespoke and ready-made, the value of working with a stylist.
Yeah.
It's a lot to process. What do you think is the most important takeaway for our listeners?
For me, it's about making informed choices that reflect your personal style and goals. Whether you're rocking a bespoke suit or a well-tailored, ready-made outfit, the key is confidence.
Right.
Own your look, wear it with pride, let your style speak volumes.
Confidence is key. And I think what Mayfair is trying to say is you don't have to be a fashion expert or have a huge budget to have great style.
Right.
It's about understanding the basics, making smart choices, and maybe even taking a chance on something new, like exploring bespoke tailoring.
Absolutely. And remember, this isn't just about looking good. It's about presenting yourself with authenticity and intention. It's about showing the world you care about how you look and that you're putting your best foot forward.
So for those of you listening, whether you're in Almaty, Astana, or anywhere else in Kazakhstan,
Yeah.
we hope this deep dive has given you a new perspective on men's style. It's not just about rules and regulations. It's about understanding the nuances, making those informed choices, and ultimately expressing yourself.
And who knows? Maybe March 11, 2025 will be the day you decide to take that step towards a more stylish you. Whether it's investing in a few key pieces, working with a stylist, even exploring bespoke tailoring. There are so many ways to elevate your style and feel more confident.
Keep exploring, keep learning, and most importantly, keep expressing your unique style. Until next time.